Hello, my name is Gleb Abashan and welcome to my presentation about Maillard reaction and its role in our life. Imagine a sizzling steak that immediately grabs your attention. You could practically taste that mouth-watering dish. The secret behind preparation of that meal is the Maillard reaction. It is the same reaction that makes baked bread a golden crust and gives the pastries and syrup foods their irresistible aroma. In this video, we'll discover how this one chemical reaction creates so much of the flavor and color we love in cooked foods, turning a simple piece of meat or dough into a delicious treat. Let's peek behind the curtains of the chemistry. When we heat foods that contain amino acids and reducing sugars, those molecules collide and start a reaction. In the first stage, a sugar molecule and an amino acid join together, releasing water and forming a new compound. This unstable compound then rearranges itself. Scientists call it an Amadori product, and from there a whole cascade of reaction kicks off. The end result? Hundreds of different compounds. Some are brown pigments that makes the food look appetizing, and many are flavor and aroma molecules that give brown food its distinctive taste. In short, when you cook food, you are running a tiny chemistry lab, creating new flavors via Maillard reaction. The Maillard reaction is truly everywhere in cooking. For example, think of coffee beans. They start green and relatively odorless, but roasting them at the high heat turns them brown and releases a rich coffee aroma. That's the Maillard reaction, creating new flavor compounds. Or consider bread. Dough is pale, but bake it, and you'll get a golden brown crust that's packed with flavor. Grill marks on meat or vegetables, the darkened edges of cookies, the color or beer malt, all of these come from Maillard browning. Baked bread, roasted coffee, and grilled steak all owe their enticing smell to this reaction. This is the bridge between the raw ingredients and the delicious foods on our plates, giving us thousands of flavor compounds that weren't there before cooking. The Maillard reaction can be a double-edged sword when it comes to health. On one hand, it creates some beneficial molecules. For example, the brown pigments in roasted coffee and in bread have antitoxin properties. Maillard compounds can even act as natural preservative or have antibacterial activity. But on the other hand, if we overcook or excessively brown foods, the Maillard reaction can produce things we don't want to eat too much of. A prime example is acrylamide, which forms in fried or baked starchy food like potato chips, fries, and burnt toast. Acrylamide has been classified as a probable human carcinogen, so its potential long-term concern. A good news is we can minimize exposure by cooking until just the golden or light brown instead of dark brown or black. Because the Maillard reaction makes food delicious, it is at the heart of food industry economics. Think about it, would fast food like a French fry be as enticing if it was pale and boiled? Not at all. Companies count on that golden Maillard browning to make products craveable. In fact, entire R&D teams work on optimizing Maillard reaction. Flavor companies toast mixtures or proteins and sugars to develop new grill flavor additives, and many patents exist for creating natural meat flavors by controlled Maillard reactions in the lab. On an industrial scale, controlling this reaction is key. During World War II, the US military even funded a research to better understand the Maillard reaction. They needed to make ration foods that were both shelf-stable and tasty. Nowadays, everything from roast level on your coffee to the baking conditions in a cookie factory is fine-tuned for the ideal Maillard-driven flavor. It's a great example of science meeting business, because flavorful food equals popular and profitable food. To wrap it all up, let's remember the key takeaways. The Maillard reaction is the behind-the-scenes artist of so many of our favorite foods. It's why brown foods are delicious. Chemically, it's a dance between sugars and amino acids, producing hundreds of flavor compounds. Practically, it's happening whenever we cook above our 140 degrees centigrade or 284 degrees Fahrenheit, whether we're grilling, baking, or roasting. We've seen real examples like meat, bread, and coffee, and know that it has a huge impact on the flavor. We also touched on health. Enjoy the deliciousness, but avoid overdoing it to char to keep things healthy. The Maillard reaction has been around in the kitchens forever, even since before science understood it. and even after more than a century of research, it is still a hot topic, pun intended, in food science. In short, it is the science that makes cooking an art. Thank you for watching. Now go enjoy something tasty and golden brown, and maybe impress your friends by telling them about the Maillard reaction behind the flavor. Thank you.